And a very warm welcome indeed to Hilton Park, Leigh, and on behalf of your cameraman Jeff Unsworth, this is your match commentator Derek Disley, welcoming you to this very large crowd here at Hilton Park for this afternoon's derby game between Leigh and Wigan. And before the match comes underway, the Leigh skipper Derek Pike receives the Lancashire Federation of Supporters Clubs Award for last season's Player of the Season. And our referee Derek Fox from Wakefield blows his whistle to call the two captains together, and it's a very big day this afternoon for 5-year-old Gary Dunn, who goes to St Catherine's School in Lowton. Gary will have mixed feelings for this afternoon because his father Kevin is a Wigan supporter and his mother Sharon is a Leigh supporter. But this afternoon Gary Dunn is the 5-year-old mascot for the home side Leigh, and he's now involved in a picture with the two skippers and the match officials, one he will treasure no doubt for a long time to come. So we'll quickly go through the sides before they kick off. Leigh line up as follows: 1 Chris Johnson, 2 Neil McCulloch, 3 John Henderson, 4 Colin Riding, 5 Phil Fox, 6 John Kerr, 7 Mike Davis, 8 Brian Gelling, 9 Ray Taburn, 10 Derek Pike, 11 Tony Cottrell, 12 Gary Howell and 13 Ian Schubert. The substitutes for Leigh are 14 Andy Collier and 15 Tony Manfredi. The Wigan side line up: 1 Steve Hampson, 2 Dean Bell, 3 David Stevenson, 4 Joe Lydon, 5 Henderson Gill, 6 Ellery Hanley, 7 Sean Edwards, 8 skipper Graham West, 9 Martin Dermott, 10 Brian Case, 11 Rob Lowe, 12 Ian Potter and 13 Andy Goodway. And the Wigan subs are at 14 Nicky Dutoit and 15 Sean Wayne. So Leigh in possession for the first time in the game. Hard tackle in there by Case, Lowe and Potter on the Leigh skipper Pike. Taburn goes to acting half-back, on to Gelling. Gelling runs into Goodway. This is certainly a battle that Leigh supporters missed last season when Leigh were in the second division. Taburn now goes to loan from the acting half-back. The two sides, of course, did meet last season in the semi-final of the John Player, with Wigan winning 36 points to 8. First kick of the game comes in from Leigh's new loose forward Ian Schubert, comfortably taken by Steve Hampson. So Wigan in possession for the first time with Dean Bell. This New Zealander just come over this week to join Wigan, of course formerly played with Carlisle. Now on to West, another New Zealander, the Wigan skipper. He drives in hard. Wigan in possession just inside Leigh territory, now with Edwards. Long pass out to loose forward Goodway. Fine tackle coming in from Gelling. Pass from Lowe. Kick comes in from Edwards. Fine touch midway between the halfway line and the Leigh 25. And we'll have our first scrum of the game, with the loose head to Wigan and Mike Davis to feed for Leigh. So referee Derek Fox laying down the laws to where he wants the scrum to form. Well, a penalty to Wigan. Davis not retiring behind his own forward's feet, and up steps Joe Lydon to take the kick for touch. Should be some very interesting personal duels here this afternoon. Fine kick by Lydon. Takes play 5 yards inside the Leigh 25. Wigan on the attack now with Edwards. Edwards to Dermott. To Edwards again. Out to West. A bit of a sloppy pass. Leigh stop him. Wigan 15 yards short now with Edwards. Case trying to get the ball moving. Stopped 10 yards short. Wigan having the better of these early minutes at the moment. Dermott goes it alone. Schubert's in on that tackle. Wigan getting very close to the Leigh line. Good Goodway. Fine tackle again by Schubert there. Leigh's Australian capture from Western Suburbs. Now the ball's out to Hanley. Hanley looking for somebody to pass to. Finally tattled by Riding, assisted by Pike. The last tattle and Leigh have driven Wigan back. Hampson kicks. Finally taken for Leigh by Riding. Very fine kick indeed from fullback Steve Hampson, but what can Leigh do in reply? Taburn tattled her by Bell and Potter. Gelling now runs into West. Low assist with the tattle. Leigh looking for a little inspiration at the moment. Mike Davis. On to Pike. Pike tries to crash his way through, but Leigh is still being contained inside their own 25. Cottrell goes the other way now. Tries to blast up the middle. It's the last tattle and Leigh have failed to get out of their own 25. Kick will come in from Schubert. It's a fine high kick that. And that's a lucky bounce for Leigh. The ball beats Gill and takes place on 12 yards short of the Wigan 25, and with 4 minutes of the first half gone, no score here at Hilton Park before a very large crowd, probably Leigh's largest crowd for a good number of seasons, for the visit of near neighbours Wigan. This time Sean Edwards will feed the scrum. Possession to Wigan. Gill in possession for the first time, stopped by Kerr and Davis. Hanley attacked in half-back. Gets it out to Hampson. Long pass out to Goodway. Goodway stopped by Fox and Riding. Hanley again attacked in half-back out to Lowe. Lowe tries to bring in Bell. Cottrell makes the tattle. Good tackling this time by Leigh. Up quickly. Certainly Leigh a little lucky to get away with offside there, as West is solidly tattled by the other Leigh new boy, Gary Howell, and skipper Derek Pike. Kick comes in from Hampson. Finds touch. In fact, the referee has given ball back. The touch judge on the far side signalled that it had found touch and then changed his mind. Well, referee Derek Fox was in no mind, but I would have thought that was the touch judge's job. Still, we scrum it back inside the Wigan half. Referee not happy with the first feed from Davis. Possession to Leigh. Chris Johnson in the action for the first time, brought down by Edwards and Hanley. Possession to Wigan, lost ball. The referee looks for an indication. He was consulting his touch judge to see if the ball was stolen. Neither one gave a signal, so the referee is given a scrum for losing possession after the tattle was completed. So this time Edwards with the feed. Well, the referee not happy with that one. No way that ball was going to come out clean, so we'll scrum it once again in centre field, midway between the halfway line and the Wigan 25. Both sides settle down, almost 7 minutes gone. Still no score. One for Leigh against the head. So, can Leigh capitalise on that unexpected possession? Here goes Schubert. Long pass out, Riding misses it. Picked up for Lowe by Wigan. Not a very good pass from the loose forward there. Wigan now with West. Runs into Pike and Gelling. Tattling's the name of the game this afternoon. Edwards now to Hanley. Want to loose forward, Goodway appearing amongst the three quarters. Lydon now out to Potter. Good tattle by Pike, who gets it away to Lydon. Lydon has the pace, but he loses his legs. Dermott now attacked in half-back. Oh, a wild pass out to Lowe. Good tattling by the Leigh forwards again. They're really hunting as a pack in these early minutes. Last tattle indicates referee Fox. Kick ahead from Lydon. Taken for Leigh by Johnson. but he's surrounded by Wigan players and finally tackled by Potter. Henderson now, he runs into Potter as well. Now Gelling for Leigh. Wigan up very quickly, knocking Leigh out of the stride. Davis with possession, out to Kerr, to Schubert, to Pike. Pike goes without the ball. Possession to Wigan. John Kerr very slow to drop on that loose ball. Possession to Wigan. Dermot gets it out to Lowe. Lowe gets it out to Goodway, again appearing in the three quarters. Dermot at acting half-back, gets it out to Case. Into Pike. Good tackling again by Leigh forwards. Dermot now to Edwards. Good move coming on here. They bring in Bell in on everything. Sean Edwards now out to Stevenson. Good pass from Stevenson. Solid defence on the line. Last tackle. Edwards. The drop attempt. Now an overlap for Leigh. What can they do here? Colin Riding goes inside, gets it into Fox. Good response by Leigh. Bell comes back to make the tackle. Leigh find themselves in possession in Wigan territory. Good line up here now. Long pass out to Henderson. Out to Kerr. Kerr still going inside to McCullough. Good tackle by fullback Hampson. Certainly enterprising play from Leigh. Chris Johnson now. Handle tap by Hampson. Leigh just short of the Wigan 25. Game really livening up now. Schubert. I beg your pardon, it's Howell. Gets it out to Riding. To Fox. Fox kicks ahead and is tripped. But the referee does not penalise the Wigan player. That was the best of Leigh. Leigh supporters respond to their team's efforts. But Wigan will tap from their own 25. Leigh certainly showed that they're not overawed by the occasion. Lydon with the tap. Oh, that's an unusual one. Well, Chris Johnson didn't play it, but the ploy certainly worked. Leigh were caught stranded there. Good line out here for Wigan. Good tackle by Cottrell on Lydon. Dermot now gets hit out to Case. Case to Lowe. Good tackle again by Howell. Gary Howell, Penrith player, making his debut for Leigh. Case gets it out to Dermot. Howell's in on that tackle again. Certainly the tackling's been the feature of this first 10 minutes. Hanley out now to Edwards. A kick ahead by Edwards. Cottrell is penalised for offside. Should give Wigan the first kicking opportunity of the game. Right in front of the Leigh post, some 30 yards out. David Stevenson will take this kick. We're in the 12th minute. Wigan certainly finding Leigh wanting a little with these kicks. They've certainly varied the play. The one from the tap out from the 25 really took Leigh by surprise. And that certainly set up the position for this David Stevenson penalty attempt at goal. So, 12 minutes of the first half gone. No score at the moment. David Stevenson with this penalty from in front of the Leigh post. Pulls it well wide. Ironical cheers from the Leigh supporters. And Leigh will be quite content to drop out from their own 25. So it'll be Ian Schubert, captain of the Western Suburbs team in Australia, making his Leigh debut this afternoon. Kicks the ball down centre field, taken by Hampson. Leigh up certainly together. Good tackling by Leigh. Taburn and Schubert in on that tackle. Dermot acting half back, runs into Taburn. Edwards this time, on to Case. Case trying to wheel round and release the ball in the tattle, but Lee's stopping from doing that. Certainly been an even match so far. Edwards on to Hanley. Leigh will be watching this man closely. Very difficult man to bring down. Takes 3 forwards to bring him down. Graham West now. Solid tackling again by the Leigh forwards. Last tattle indicates referee Fox. Edwards now with the kick. Straight to Fox. Fox looking for a gap down the middle. No way through. Tattle by West and Edwards. Sole possession to Leigh now. Mike Davis going the opposite way. Fine dodge there by Riding, but not a clever pass from Davis in the first place. Pike now barges into it, pushes off Edwards, keeps it going, but the ball goes loose to Potter. Now with Lowell. Out to Gill. Gill dodges past one man. There's nowhere to go. Tattle by Henderson. Lydon to Lowe. Lowe out to Dermott. Dermott keeps it going to Hanley. Hanley breaks through. And Hanley goes over for the first try of the game. A sensational try by Ellery Hanley. Pushed off 6 would-be Leigh tattlers to score behind the Leigh poles and open the scoring for Wigan. 15 minutes gone. Leigh 0, Wigan 4. Once again, Ellery Hanley shows his class. I said earlier that he was a difficult man to pull down. He certainly proved it on that occasion. So David Stevenson this time with the easiest of conversion attempts from in front of the Leigh post. Makes no mistake this time. 15.5 minutes gone here at Hilton Park. Leigh 0, Wigan 6 points. So Leigh with the restart from the centre. Chris Johnson about to take the kick. Kicks deep. Take by Lydon on his own try line. Runs into Henderson and McCulloch. Now what can Wigan do from this situation? They've got the bit between the teeth now. Here comes Henderson Gill. They can't let this man go. Gelling finally makes the tattle. Dermott at acting half back to Edwards. On to West. Leigh certainly containing Wigan in the forwards, but it's when they get the ball out to this man Hanley that the problems develop. Dermott now gets it out to Hanley. Hanley on to Goodway. Goodway to Hampson. Well, Hampson should never have got that ball away, but he did to Stevenson. So David Stevenson now gets it out to Edwards. Edwards looking for that gap. Runs into Schubert. Last tattle indicates the referee. What type of a kick will Wigan come up with this time? Hanley's kick is charged down, and it's knocked on by Hampson. Good work there by the second row forward, Gary Howell. So we'll scrum it 5 yards outside the Wigan 25. Davis to feed for Leigh. Possession to Leigh. There goes Chris Johnson, tattled by his opposite number, Hampson. There goes McCulloch. He falls to a Potter tattle. Mike Davis now. Out to Kerr. But Leigh going nowhere on that occasion. The organisation was lacking a little. Here comes Schubert. Potter makes the tattle again. Leigh wasting tattles at the moment. Here comes Pike. Onto Howell. Howell gets it out to Davis. Davis still going. Last tattle indicates the referee. That's better from Leigh. Can they conjure anything up from this position? Pike onto Riding. Riding loses the ball. Possession to Wigan. Case with the ball. Tattle by his opposite number, Pike. Howell down at the moment, injured. Dean Bell again. A man looking to make the break up the centre. Wigan bringing their 3/4 into the gaps in the middle. Here comes Lydon. Good tattle by Schubert. West now. On to Edwards. Edwards on to Dermot. Dermot to Lydon. Lydon breaks clear. This is certainly trouble for Leigh. Oh, that certainly looked like crossing. Well, he's given the try for Joe Lydon, but certainly appeared to me there was crossing in the centre of the field with Hanley. But Lydon is allowed to run 75 yards for Wigan's second try in the 20th minute. Puts Wigan into double figures. They now lead Leigh by 10 points to 0. Wigan showing that they're a danger from anywhere on this field. They can score from any distance. Well, Lydon had the support of Hanley inside him. He elected to go it alone, but certainly I thought that Hanley took McCulloch out of the game, if not Johnson as well. Referee Derek Fox gave the advantage to the man in possession, and David Stevenson steps up for his second conversion of the game, which is hopelessly wide with. But Wigan won't be too concerned. 20.5 minutes of the first half gone. Wigan now lead Leigh by 10 points to 0. So Leigh back at the centre with it all to do now. They've got to get back into this game as quickly as they can. They were almost over the Wigan line a moment ago. Then they see Wigan go the length of the field and put points on the board at the other end. So it's Chris Johnson with the restart. Taken by Bell. Bell bursts out of one tattle by Riding. Here comes Dermot. So Wigan in possession, just outside their own 25. On to Case. Case releases it to Edwards. Good play again by Wigan. Inside to West, to Potter. Better tackling this time by Leigh. Stopping the ball in the tattle. Dermot now to Edwards, to Hanley. Hanley a long pass to Stevenson. Good tattle by Colin Riding. Bell now to Edwards. Good tattle on Edwards. Wigan contain on their own 25 this time, with the last tattle coming up. Kick comes in left-footed from Hampson, taken by Fox. Fox gets it out to Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson loses the ball. Break on for Wigan, and Gill loses it for Wigan. Picked up by Kerr. Kerr runs into Potter. Slack play on both sides there. Gill limps away from the situation. Taburn goes to acting half-back. Chris Johnson now for Leigh. Johnson tries to straighten up. Tattle by West. Derek Pike now for Leigh. Pike runs well. Tattle by Goodway and Lowe. Tavern now to Davis. Davis kicks ahead, but it's taken by Hanley. Edwards now at acting half-back, gets it out to Hampson. Hampson tackled by Henderson. Gill now, limping a minute ago, suddenly he's fit when he gets the ball in his hands again. He doesn't escape the clutches of Schubert. Dermott now to Edwards, on to West, back to Edwards. They bring in Goodway. Stevenson is half tackled, but he gets up and breaks away, and he's going clear. He's looking for the support. Solid tackle by fullback Chris Johnson. Once again, Wigan out of nothing take play into an attacking position. Bell now on to Lowell. Last tackle indicates the referee as Ian Schubert makes the tackle for Leigh. Dermott now to West. West to Dermott. Two men knock Leigh out of the way there. On to Hampson. Out to Gill. And Gill goes in at the corner. Wigan's third try, and they're beginning to take Leigh apart. In fact, the referee is speaking now to Gill and skipper West. Or something that occurred after he'd scored the try. So Wigan stretch their lead. 25 minutes of the first half gone. They now lead by 14 points to 0. David Stevenson with the conversion attempt from this near touchline. The big smiles there from Gill. It's David Stevenson now with this conversion attempt. And really, Wigan have clicked into action in the last 10 minutes, scoring these 3 tries without reply. So it's David Stevenson now from this near touchline with the conversion attempt. Wigan 14-0 ahead at the moment.
David taking a lot of time with this one.
But he's wide again. But that will be a happy situation for the Wigan supporters. Leigh 0, Wigan 14 points, 26 minutes of the first half gone, and Leigh badly in need of a score at the moment. So Chris Johnson once again with a restart from the centre. That's a high kick. But it goes dead. Wigan will be forced to drop out from under their own post. I think the crossbar got in the way there of fullback Steve Hampson. He lost sight of the ball. So Wigan drop out with Joe Lydon from under their own post. Can Leigh get something? Drives Leigh back into their own half, picked up by Chris Johnson. He runs straight into Lowell and Potter. Leigh need the inspiration from somewhere. Here goes Gelling. Pushes one man off, gets it out to Tavern. Referee gives the knock on and a pass unnecessary. Wasted possession again by Leigh. Head and ball to Wigan. Scrum's 3-1 in Leigh's favour at the moment. Edwards to feed. Penalty for second row feeding. That's Leigh's first penalty of the game. Comes after 27.5 minutes. Schubert will kick for touch. That's not a very clever kick. Taken by Lydon, who is immediately tackled by McCulloch. Once again, Leigh squander possession as Gill tries to blast his way out of his own 25. West now. Tattle by Pike. Edwards now, on to Hanley. To Lowell. Tattle by Schubert. Edwards now. Sit out to Case. On to Goodway. Goodway back inside to Edwards. Good one-handed tattle by Brian Gelling. That was needed. Last tattle, says the referee. Out to Hampson. He kicks. Does well to get the kick in. Drives Chris Johnson back. Possession to Leigh. Tattle by Bell. Leigh desperate for a score before the interval. Comes Schubert. Wigan stop the ball in the tattle. 11 minutes of the first half remaining. Here comes Cottrell. Pushes off Dermot, but not low. Kerr attacking half-back. It's out to Davis. Davis looking for the break. Davis has made the break. Where's the support? No one with him. Good tattle from Edwards. Pike now, out to Taburn. On to Gelling. Riding goes without the ball. Bell picks it up for Wigan. Here comes Dermot. Runs into Howell. Case now. Runs into Pike. So Dermot goes to acting half-back. Out to Edwards, to West, to Edwards, to Goodway. Goodway throws the ball inside, picked up by Edwards, keep the ball moving. Edwards finally tattled. Lies opposite number Davis. Gill now. No way through this time for Henderson Gill. It's the last tattle. Lydon with the kick. Taken for Leigh by McCulloch. Runs into a head-to-head confrontation there with Goodway. Schubert now out to Davis. To Pike, good line out here for Leigh. Henderson straightens the move up. Here's Pike. Taburn now, Leigh going nowhere. Half a break by Taburn. Well stopped by West. Chris Johnson tries to go from acting half-back. There's certainly no way through. Dermot and Case are the tattlers. Leigh looking for some penetration from somewhere at the moment. Davis inside to Howell. Ball loose again, possession to Wigan. Hanley has it. Potter goes to acting half-back. Wigan trying to break into the Leigh half. Stevenson out to Edwards, on to Bell, on to Dermot. Dermot tattled by Schubert. Lydon attacked in half-back now. On to Hampson, a high kick, that's a good one. Straight to Johnson. Hampson has him, and Bell's there as well. Wigan are there in numbers once again. Kerr now. Well, Leigh certainly lacking in the penetration stakes. Lacking leadership a little at the moment, but what can Derek Pike do? Tries to break out, but Wigan are certainly containing Leigh with too much ease at the moment. Cottrell now. Leigh desperate for a score now. 8 minutes before the interval here at Hilton Park. They trail Wigan by 14 points to 0. There goes Howell. Last tattle again. And Leigh once again failed to break down this Wigan defence. And Schubert takes the ball and knocks on. Nothing going Leigh's way at the moment. Wigan have certainly stamped their authority on this game in the later stage of this first half. So Edwards to feed the scrum. Scrum's 3-1 in Leigh's favour at the moment. Lydon on the switch. Fine tattle by Kerr. Low now. Inside to Stevenson. Stevenson bursts off one tattle but doesn't push off Gelling. But Wigan are here again with Hanley. No one's supporting Hanley on that occasion, but Wigan have got the attacking position. Edwards attacked in half-back to Case. Case gets it out to Edwards, to Dermot. Long pass out to Law. Bell is finally tackled by Fox. That tackle was needed. Here comes Potter. Potter's allowed to run. Last tackle. Can Leigh keep them out? Edwards kicks it through. And Gill is credited with the try. And that is disaster for Leigh. Comes in the 34th minute. Henderson Gill's second try on the 6th tackle. Beautiful grubber kick from Edwards. Caught Leigh napping. And Wigan stretch their lead to 18 points to 0 with Davidson's conversion attempt still to follow. So David Stevenson, 4 tries to Wigan, nothing in reply from Leigh. Stevenson 1 goal to his credit so far this afternoon. Wigan lead by 18 points at the moment. This time Stevenson is successful, stretches the Wigan lead even further. 35 minutes of the first half gone. Leigh 0, Wigan 20 points. Well, Leigh went through last season unbeaten at home, apart in the league, that is. They've certainly got a lot on their plate now this afternoon. They know what the First Division is all about. Another kick, this fine kick by Johnson this time. Hampson is ready and waiting for it. Almost makes his 25-yard line. Dermot acting half-back to Hanley. Sloppy pass to Edwards. Edwards straightens it up to Lowe. Lowe tackled by Henderson and McCulloch. Just outside the Wigan 25. Gill out to Edwards. Edwards going it alone. Tackled by Gelling. West now for Wigan. Wigan skipper. Tackled by Cottrell and Taburn. Dermot had acting half-back out to Hanley. Interception by Kerr for Leigh. Hanley was quick, having lost the ball to make the tackle. Now can Leigh get something before the interval? Inside to Schubert, to Kerr. Kerr goes through. Tattle just short. Fine defence by Hampson. Loose pass picked up for Leigh by Pike. And Leigh lose possession on the move. I beg your pardon, lose ground on the move. Edwards now. Ridings kicked ahead by Bell, and Leigh squander the chance again. Hanley attacked in half-back, gets it out to Edwards to Case. Leigh certainly not made the best of the possession they've had in this first 40 minutes. Edwards now to West. Forward looking pass to Goodway, but we can get away with it. The support's there as ever. Bit of kicking from both players there. Goodway last because he's the offender. Penalty goes Leigh's way. So Schubert this time, his obvious #1 priority is to make touch. This time he does do, but it's still short of the Wigan 25. 2.5 minutes of the first half remaining. Can Leigh get anything from this possession? The ball is lost, runs well for Leigh. There goes Kerr. Kerr to Johnson, but Leigh have gone backwards again whilst in possession. Davis to Pike, inside to Howell. Ball is thrown away and picked up for Wigan by West. Once again, Leigh squander the possession. Here comes Lowell. Freedom of the park, gets it out to Hanley. He pushes off Riding, get it inside to Stevenson. Fine tackle by Davis. Leigh can't afford to concede any more points in this half. Ball bounces well for Dermott. Dermott, ball is knocked on. Possession for Leigh. Ray Taburn drops on it. Now can Leigh get anything in these last 90 seconds? There goes Schubert on to Gelling. Gelling pushes one man off, inside to Taburn. Taburn races away, kicks ahead. Who's going to win the race? And Leigh unbelievably squander the chance once again. Hampson missed the ball. I think Johnson stood on it over the Wigan try line and the ball went dead. Well, that just about sums up the Leigh performance in this first half. That could have brought them some reward for the first period. Wigan will be quite happy with this scoreline now. They lead by 20 points to 0. 40 seconds of normal time remaining. West almost through up the middle. Dermott at acting half back to Edwards. Bring in Goodway. Goodway straightens up, gets the ball out in the tattle to Stevenson. Edwards now kicks, but it's ball back. Wigan claim it touched Pike. Referee Fox will have none and orders the scrum 5 yards inside Wigan territory. 5 seconds of normal time remaining in this first half. Possession to Leigh at the scrum and the penalty as well. So Schubert will kick for touch on the far side. Once again he fails to find it. Hampson takes it well, and really it's been a chapter of errors at Leigh in this first half. Hampson finally tackled by Schubert as the hooter goes to end a first half here at Hilton Park, which has seen Leigh totally play second fiddle to an unsung Wigan side that leads by 20 points to 0 at the interval. Wigan's tries coming, one each from Ellery Hanley and Joe Lydon, 2 from Henderson Gill, 2 goals for Stevenson. So on behalf of your cameraman Jeff Unsworth, this is your match commentator Derek Disley saying we hope you've enjoyed the first half and you'll rejoin us for the second. Well, welcome back to Hilton Park, Leigh. On behalf of your cameraman Jeff Unsworth, this is your match commentator Derek Disley, reminding you of the half-time scoreline. Leigh 0, Wigan 20 points, and Leigh have made a substitution during the half-time interval. Andy Collier has come on to replace the injured Phil Fox. Straight away Wigan put the ball, fine kick coming in from Sean Edwards, drives Leigh back right to their own try line. Chris Johnson doesn't escape the clutches of Hanley. It appeared at one stage he may have got round him, but Hanley recovered. Here comes Pike now on the charge for Leigh, tattled on the home 25. Taburn on to Gelling. Gelling again stopped on the 25. Leigh desperate for early points in this second half. Schubert now. Kick comes in, charge down. The ball bounces out of play, and all the bounces are going Wigan's way at the moment. Certainly Wigan's variety with the kick has really taken Leigh apart. Our first scrum of the second half, scrums 3-2 in Leigh's favour in the first half, as were penalties. This time it's Edwards to feed. Well, that ball came out on the Leigh side, was dropped on by West, who gets up and punches Gary Schubert. Now, if the referee does not give Leigh a penalty here, Well, Wigan can count themselves very fortunate not to concede a penalty at that scrum. Now they finish up with possession. The referee wants it fed in again. So Edwards at the third attempt. Possession to Wigan. They bring in Goodway. And he drops the ball. The referee was quick to spot that one. So we'll have a second scrum. And this time it'll be head and ball to Leigh. So Mike Davis to feed for Leigh. 10 yards short of the Leigh line. Possession to Leigh. Davis slips at the feet of Goodway. Pike now trying to drive clear of his own line, but Wigan have done a good containing job on Leigh when they've had possession. This time it's Howell trying to look for the break. No one near enough to take a pass. Mike Davis. Gelling runs into Potter. Low assist with the tackle. Taburn out to Davis. Davis kicks, but that's straight down the throat of Hampson. Hampson slips at the feet of Pike, but Wigan are back in possession, 10 yards outside the Leigh 25 with Goodway. Goodway's finally stopped, but Leigh pinched the ball. John Kerr gets it out to Pike, to Gelling, on to Davis. Davis finally tackled by Stevenson. Taburn attacked in half back to Schubert. On to Chris Johnson, a lovely ball out to Pye. It's on to Henderson. Henderson stretching his legs, caught from behind by Gill. Kerr was the man making the break. Gill comes up with the ball as well. Possession to Wigan. Here comes Lowe. Rob Lowe, this big South African second row forward, crashes 10 yards at the Leigh defence. Here comes Case as well. Dermott goes to act in half-back. Wigan in possession, 5 yards inside their own half. Now, ball comes back to Lydon for the kick. Another high up and under. Johnson forced to play it because of the close attentions of Hanley. Hanley once again makes the tackle on the Leigh fullback. And a penalty to Leigh. I thought myself Leigh were a little slow there at the play of the ball, but Case is penalised for at the acting half-back, but there goes Schubert, gets it on to Pike. Pike looking for the break. Takes play 10 yards into the Wigan half. Can Leigh do anything from this now? Taburn now to Schubert. Schubert loses the ball, picked up by Stevenson, and Leigh's jittery handling comes into play once again. Here comes Goodway. He's going in there from Gelling. Here comes Bell. Dermott attacked in half-back. Out to Edwards, on to West. West to Edwards, well read by Davis. Lydon now with the kick. Drives Leigh back. Finds touch right in the corner. The kicks have really played havoc with Leigh this afternoon on the firm ground. They've kicked well of Wigan, full credit to them. They've varied it so much. The Leigh don't really know what's coming next. So it's Mike Davis to feed this scrum. Possession to Leigh. Runs into Goodway and Bell. Collier in the action for the first half, the half-time substitute. Pike now, into Case. And certainly that was a punch coming in from Goodway, which I think everyone on the ground saw. Bit of retribution for Goodway, who received knees in the back from Brian Gelling a couple of minutes ago. But it's to be hoped that gets it out of his system and we settle down and play the rugby. This time Schubert finds touch, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Ray Taburn will take the second half of the penalty. On to Gelling. Gelling reaches the halfway line. 6.5 minutes of the second half gone. Leigh desperate for points. Howell drops the ball, kicks it ahead, drops on it, but the referee brings them back for the knock-on. And really, it's been unbelievable the amount of ball Leigh have squandered this afternoon. Dropping the ball, but there's been no one near them. Leigh win one against the head. Well, that must be a knock-on. The pass was intercepted. Well, Wigan in possession with Stevenson on to Lydon. Good tackle coming in from McCulloch. Here goes Gill now. Gill gets out to one tackle. He's still going on to Lowe, on to Lydon. Good tackle this time by Schubert. Dermot on to West. West will tackle. He gets the ball out in the tackle. On to Edwards. He's stopped by Davis. First time probably this afternoon that Wigan have lost ground on a move. Stevenson kicks, but this time he finds touch again. Stevenson's kicked, Hanley's kicked, Lydon's kick, and the ball has always gone where it's been intended. And this must be heartbreaking kicks for Leigh. They're finding it very difficult to break down this Wigan defence. They've not found the chink in the armour yet. Every time they look like doing it, Wigan just push them back. Penalty kick against the Leigh hooker, Ray Taburn, lying on the floor. So the weight of Joe Lydon coming to take the kick for touch. Takes play forward, another 10 yards nearer that Leigh line. A reminder that Wigan still lead by 20 points to 0. Here goes Edwards on to Hanley. This time Leigh do stop him. But the position is there for Wigan if they can conjure something up a game. Dermot attacked in half-back. Out to West. West didn't release the ball in the tackle. Dermot now out to Edwards. On an interception by Brian Gelling. Leigh looking for the speed men. Fine play by the Leigh prop forward. A clear field in front of him. There was never any danger of him going the length of the field. Pye gets it out to Riding, to Davis now. Can Leigh do anything with Schubert? Pass out to Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson racing clear. Gets it out to Henderson. Henderson cuts back inside. Good tackle coming in from Hampson, but plenty of Wigan defenders back. Davis now on to Schubert. Schubert throws it away wildly. Davis drops on it. Tackle by Hanley. Gelling now out to Pike. Pike kicks ahead. Ball back. I think a little frustration on the face of the Leigh skipper there. He's trying to find this gap. But we're 10 minutes into the second half and Leigh have still to break down this Wigan defence. Possession to Wigan. Touch judge on the near side gives the knock on. And we'll have another scrum. So over this time Mike Davis to feed for Leigh. But Wigan get one against the head. Here goes Hampson for Wigan. Tries to straighten it up, runs at Kerr. Wigan in possession, just inside their own half with Gill. Here he goes again. Tries to crash through, tackled by Mike Davis. West now for Wigan. West crashes 10 yards down the centre, driving the Leigh forwards back. Edwards now. Edwards going it alone in the end. Last tackle indicates the referee. Hanley to Lydon. Lydon with the kick. This time it hits the Leigh substitute Andy Collier before going dead, and Leigh will be forced to drop out from under their own posts. Once again, the ball was a cruel bounce for Leigh. But when you're on top, things tend to go your way, and certainly Wigan are dominating at the moment. So it's Chris Johnson with a dropout for Leigh, right under the post. Taken by Henderson. Leigh stop him on the 25. West gets it out to Edwards onto Lowe. Wigan find their way into the Leigh 25. Dermot goes to acting half-back. Dermot to Edwards. Edwards brings in Bell. Bell runs into 4 Leigh tattlers. Here comes Potter. Plenty of Wigan men supporting this move. Potter couldn't release the ball. Hanley was free. Bell now gets it out to Edwards, to Dermot. Dermot loses the ball, it's out to McCulloch. McCulloch runs into Gill. Leigh stopped on their own 25. Here comes Gelling now. Better from Leigh, but it's points they need at the moment. Leigh in possession, 10 yards outside their own 25. Kearney. Johnson, good line out from Leigh. Henderson tries to straighten up but can't escape the clutches of Goodway. There goes Schubert. Another loose pass from Schubert. Dropped on by Case for Wigan. Possession to Wigan, says referee Derek Fox. Hanley out to West. West stopped in centre field by Taburn and Pike. Potter now. Potter runs into Cottrell, but he takes play into the home 25 once again. Stevenson now in on the action. Kicks ahead. Well, he gets the kick in. The ball has gone into touch. And we'll scrum it on the far side as Wigan want to bring on Sean Wayne for hooker Martin Dermot.
An important message for Mr. Jack Corlett. Mr. Jack Corlett, so he's leaving the board to the player tunnel.
14 minutes of the second half gone. Wigan make their first substitution of the game. Sean Wayne coming on for the injured hooker Martin Dermot. Leigh win the scrum, but they get a penalty for offside, not retiring against the Wigan scrum half. So Schubert will take the kick for touch for Leigh on the far side. Puts the ball on the supporters club stand. In fact, the ball goes over Gelling now, but the Wigan tattling is as ferocious as it was in the first minute. They've really taken Leigh off their game. Davis now to Cottrell. Cottrell tries to straighten it up. It's the pass forward. Leigh lose possession as well. Once again, not playing the 6 tattles. Here goes Sean Wayne, new pair of legs. Tattle 15 yards short of the Leigh line. Hampson goes to acting half-back. Gary Howell is penalised there. We're going to get their second penalty of this second half for not letting Sean Wayne to get up and play the ball. So David Stevenson wants to get more points on the board for Wigan. Wigan supporters want them to run it. Wigan not scored any points as yet in this second half. Leigh, of course, have not scored any in the game. So David Stevenson from just outside the Leigh 25. We're in the 16th minute of the second half. Wigan still leading by the half-time score of 20 points to 0. David Stevenson, 2 goals to his credit so far this afternoon. Draws that one wide again, but Leigh will be forced, of course, to drop out from their own 25, and Wigan will get possession back. Chris Johnson with the dropout, straight to Ellery Hanley. Hanley looking for the gap. Tackled by Schubert. Almost released the ball. Derek Pike quick to stop that one in the tackle. Makes the tackle on Wayne. It's out to Lowe, on to Edwards. Inside to Lowe again. Wigan support has been tremendous this afternoon. Case now. Case pushes 2 off, gets it out to Gill. Gill finally stopped by Gelling and Kerr. Wayne now, out to Edwards, to Hanley, on to Lydon, out to Stevenson. Stevenson. Finally, it's possession for Leigh with Andy Collier. That's the worst sloppy play we've seen from Wigan during the game. Cottrell gets it out. He has it on to Cont with Dean Bell there. But it's possession to Leigh in centre field. Taburn attacked in half-back, out to Davis. Inside to Taburn, to Gelling. Howell went without it. Possession again to Wigan. Stevenson now. Leigh all at sea here as Wigan have a good line out with West. West runs, gets it into Lydon. Lydon goes over for Wigan's 5th try of the game. It comes in the 58th minute. And really, Leigh know what the First Division is all about once again. Joe Lydon's 2nd try of the game takes Wigan into a 24-0 lead. And really, the way Wigan have dominated this game, it doesn't look as though Leigh are likely to score at all this afternoon. Well, it took Wigan 15 minutes to get on the score sheet in the first half. It's taken them just 3 minutes longer in the second half. But it was Joe Lydon getting his 2nd try of the game, which David Stevenson will now attempt to convert. And once again, it must be said that came from Leigh losing possession. And Wigan capitalising very quickly on anything that's going. So here's Stevenson, wide again. He's certainly helped to keep the score down for Leigh this afternoon. Does Leigh want to bring off Gary Howell and bring on Tony Manfredi? So Leigh's Australian 2nd row forward from Penrith, Gary Howell, is substituted in his first match on 3/4 time as Leigh trail by 24-0. So Chris Johnson again with the restart, straight to Lowe, on to Bell. Bell breaks up the middle, got the support with him, inside to Edwards. Edwards, is he going to make the line? He's not. Fine covering back by the Leigh fullback, but Wigan in full flow now. Bell out to Wayne. Wigan looking to run up a big score now. Edwards out to Hanley. West drops the ball, and it's one of the few occasions this afternoon that a Wigan player has done that. Wigan skipper lies down on the ground, head bowed, but anyone's allowed to drop one pass in a match. Possession to Leigh. There goes Pike for Leigh. It's going nowhere. Case is the man making the tackle. Taburn now. Nobody wants the ball. Leigh's forwards have certainly been second best this afternoon. Tony Manfredi now, out to Cottrell. Cottrell runs into Potter. Pike now for Leigh. Tattle by a second row pair of Potter and Lowe, and it's the last tattle, and Leigh have not even cleared their own 25. Kick with Schubert. It's a high one. Gill misses it. It'll be head and ball to Leigh at this scrum. The scrum it some 6 yards inside the Leigh half. Scrum's 4-3 in Leigh's favour so far in this second period. But Leigh with nothing to show for it. Referee not happy with the feed by Mike Davis. Penalty kick to Leigh for loose arm. And a second penalty because Davis was tattled. Davis takes the tap again. He's playing them on his own at the moment. He's 5 yards short of the Wigan 25. It's to hope his inspiration rubs off on the other players. Leigh have a good line out here. But it's dropped by John Kerr, and once again Leigh squander the possession. Good way out now to Hampson. Gilder, what's he doing at the play of the ball on this side? Falls to a Pike tattle. Wayne now, Sean Wayne. Everybody on this Wigan side is keen to get possession and have a goal. Referee stops the clock. An injury to the Leigh hooker, Ray Taburn. Close behind the play of the ball. Good decision by the referee. Leigh physio treats hooker Ray Taburn. Brian Gillen doing his own treatment on a wrist injury. Right, we're back on the go again. Wayne plays the ball to Case. Out to West. West finally tattled by Manfredi and Cottrell. There's a kick coming in of some description here. Lydon kicks it. It's all on. Picked up for Leigh by Collier. Good defence by the young substitute wingman. Pike trying to break out of the Leigh 25, but Leigh have certainly not found their way through this tight Wigan defence yet this afternoon. There goes Schubert. 4 men in on that ball, and again he comes up without, he loses the ball, and amazingly the referee allows Leigh to regain possession. Well, I would have thought that must have been a knock-on, and the referee said it was ball pinching. Almost a break from Chris Johnson. There goes Gelling on his own. Tattled by Wayne and Stevenson. Riding attacked in half, back out to Davis. To Schubert. Schubert out to Manfredi. For a fine cover tattle from Hanley. Schubert with the kick. Doesn't find it, only finds fullback Hampson. Hampson runs into McCulloch. Good tattle by the Leigh wingman. Gill now. Gill dummies, dodges, Luke's inside. Doesn't find the gap this time. Wayne now out to Case. Well, 2 Leigh players go for the ball and lose it. Certainly the referee was wrong again. Leigh had the opportunity to get that ball and they played it. The referee has given the knock on against Wigan. Scrum not formed properly, says referee Fox. Sean Wayne taking over the hooking role for Wigan. Possession to Leigh again. Chris Johnson tries to straighten the move up, but Wigan just throw him about like a paper doll. Kearney. Schubert drops the ball again. A terrible pass. All on, says the referee. It's now a good way for Wigan. He drops the ball. This time the referee gives a knock on again. Appeared to go back to me, but referee Derek Fox is the man in charge. Both sides suffering from handling mistakes at the moment, but only one team is yet on the score sheet. Possession to Leigh. They're going nowhere. Go back the other way. There's Henderson. Henderson looking for the gap. Really, Leigh's ideas on attack have been very limited this afternoon. There goes Manfredi, pushes one off. Stopped short of the halfway. 13 minutes left. Can Leigh get any points from this? Inside to Pike. A bad pass from Pike. And another good pass from Wigan. Wigan keep it going to Potter. Potter still going. Leigh throw the ball away once more. And will Wigan make them pay for it? There goes Stevenson. On to Hanley. Hanley runs into Pike. And he still gets the ball out in the tattle. To Bell. On to the other wingman, Gill. Gill dodges inside. Dropped on for Leigh by Riding. Very debatable there. Johnson went to make the tattle. Referee has penalised him for it. Gill got the kick in as the tattle was made. Referee says it was a late tattle. Referee stops the clock as Anderson Gill is treated by the Wigan physio. So this time Wigan are going to kick for touch. In fact, Edwards kicks the ball back some 10 yards to give them more room to work with. So Sean Wayne with the tap, with 2 balls on the field at the moment. Here goes Case. Driving in to set up the position. Wayne attacked in halfback. Out to West. West gets it out to Goodway. The referee has given the try. Andy Goodway scores Wigan's 6th try of the game. And really it showed the difference in class between these two sides. The support was there, the initial move and break came from West. Goodway was on hand to take the short pass. And once again, Leigh have been punished for losing possession in their own territory. 10.5 minutes remaining. Wigan now lead Leigh by 28 points to 0. So Wigan have changed their goal kicker. Joe Lydon has taken on the mantle. David Stevenson has only got 2 to his credit. So Joe Lydon just outside the Leigh 25, 9 yards in from touch. How unlucky can you get? Just as he was about to kick it, the ball fell over. But Wigan are well and truly home in this game. 10 minutes remain. They lead Leigh by 28 points to 0. And Chris Johnson is once again back at the centre with the restart for Leigh. And it's a question of how many Wigan will get, or can Leigh get anything out of this game at all. Knock on this time by Brian Case from the kick-off. Mike Davis to feed the scrum once again for Leigh. Leigh winning the scrum 6-3 in this second half. Of course, Wigan without the hooker at the moment. Colin Riding now. Tattled by Hanley, but Wigan are up so quickly, Leigh can't make use of the possession. Schubert gets it out this time to Henderson. They, of course, were teammates in Australia during the close season. Pike now. Pike looking to get the pass out in the tattle. No one near enough. Chris Johnson now. He tries to run past Lowe and Hanley. Penalty for Leigh for not allowing him to play the ball. Schubert will kick for touch on the far side. Finds touch on the Wigan 25. Now, can Leigh give their supporters something to cheer with? There goes Ray Taburn, drives in another 10 yards. This is the best attacking position Leigh have had this half, and it's taken them 8 minutes really to get into the Wigan 32 minutes to get into the Wigan half. So dominant of Wigan being. Pike now. Kerr tries to straighten the move up. Good tattle coming in from Hanley. Pike now goes it alone. Tattle by Potter. Pedestrian stuff from Leigh compared to Wigan. Mike Davis out to Schubert. Schubert tries to turn in the tattle, but Wigan stop the ball, and it's the last tattle, and Leigh have still not found their way over that Wigan line. Pike to Taburn. The ball is finally thrown away, picked up by Lowe. And Leigh once again failed to find the Wigan try line. Here comes Bell. Case now for Wigan. Pushes off one, but not Gelling. Reclears the visitors 25. A kick will come in this time from Lydon. This time it's down centre field. Straight to Johnson. He loses Stevenson, but he runs into Hanley. Wigan are up in numbers at every kick they've made. There goes Collier, trying to get in on the action. Runs into Wayne. Leigh in centre field now with Kerr to Pike. Pike's pass is intercepted by Edwards. Now Lowe gets it out to Hanley. Hanley dodges, gets past two. Should be possession to Leigh. Riding drops on it. Cottrell now. Gets it out to Davis. On to Schubert. Schubert gets it away to Davis again. Now with Taburn. Leigh not really looking as though they have the answer. Gelling now out to Davis. Long pass out to Kerr. Kerr dodges, gets it back inside to Davis. To Riding. Good tattle coming in from Bell. Cottrell, will he go it alone? Gets it inside to Johnson, he drops it. Pass was not good enough. Wigan move it quickly now with Goodway. Gets it inside to Gill. Gill steps past two men, he's going again. Fine tattle again, this time by Schubert and Johnson. Long pass out to Goodway. McCulloch makes the tattle. Referee gives the knock on. Signalled by the touch judge on the far side. 5 minutes of the game remaining. Leigh well and truly second best here at Hilton Park this afternoon. They trail Wigan by 28 points to 0, and they've never really threatened the Wigan line throughout the game. You win that one against the head. In comes Hampson. On to Hanley. Hanley finally goes down to the tattle from Henderson. Hampson now. Bringing Dean Bell again in the middle. He tries to brush them off. He gets the ball out to Case, to Hampson. Hampson to Stevenson. Stevenson drops it. Pike picks it up. No, can Leigh do anything on the break? It's inside to McCulloch. Manfredi now to Davis, to Pike, but Leigh's passing is not up to the mark either. There goes Pike, looking for the gap up the middle, loses the ball again. Kicked on by Cottrell, picked up by Hanley. Hanley pushes them off like flies. Finally tattled by the young pair of Riding and Collier. Stevenson now out to Wayne. Wayne runs through a paper-thin looking Leigh defence before he's stopped by Manfredi. It's now on to Potter. Potter's looking for the gap. Out to Lowe, out to Gill. Gill cuts back, a fine tattle by McCulloch, but he gets up and he's still going. Well, he appeared to be tattled. On to Hanley, that looked a little forward, but Wigan giving the ball plenty of air now. They want to get as many points as they can. Want to rub it in against the old enemy. Edwards attacked in half back. Brings in Wayne. Wayne stopped short. Edwards again. Out to Hanley. To Goodway. Goodway gets it out to Hampson. Good tattle coming in from Collier. Last tattle, says referee Fox. Edwards and Lydon will drop a goal to ironical jeers. But with just 2 minutes of the game remaining, Joe Lydon stretches Wigan's lead even further. Leigh nothing to show for their efforts this afternoon. They trail by 29 points to 0, but they've certainly been well beaten and outclassed by this Wigan outfit of stars, who've shown their strength in every department. They've totally outplayed the home side. They're worthy of their victory. And following their victory over Warrington in midweek, it's back to the drawing board for Leigh. Hanley picks the short one and he's on the race again. Stopped by Davis. Hanley holding his leg. Referee lets him get up to play the ball. Now with Case. Case makes it into the Leigh half. Wayne attacked in half back. On to West. West bursts up the middle, supported by Wayne. On to Edwards, on to Goodway. Superb play by Wayne. What a beautiful pass to Potter. Inside to Lowe. Magnificent supporting play by the Wigan forwards. That's what the game's all about. That brings applause from both sets of supporters. Here comes Edwards. Goodway on to Lydon. Out to West. West out to Bell. And Dean Bell is over in the corner for Wigan's 7th try of the game, and it's beginning to be a rout. Well, Ellery Hanley is being carried off the field with a leg injury, but we've got less than a minute to go. Well, when the conversion attempt has been taken, Nicky Detoit will come on for a matter of seconds, really, as Joe Lydon takes the conversion attempt from the far touchline. 33 points to 0. And that makes it 35. Joe Lydon kicks it from the touchline to rub the salt in the wound as we move into injury time. Leigh want to bring Gary Howell back for Ian Schubert. And Leigh's 2 Australian forwards have not been as noticeable this afternoon as Wigan's overseas players. Second time match in succession, Mike Davis is the Leigh man of the match as he tackles Steve Hampson. We've had 40 seconds of injury time already. Here comes Nicky Detoit. Nicky Detoit stopped 10 yards outside his own 25. And there's a fracas on the field involving Nicky Detoit there. Referee Fox quickly in. Touch judge on the far side comes to report the incident. Penalty is given Leigh's way. Nicky Detoit, the offender. And Leigh just stand around not knowing what to do. Mike Davis finally takes the kick for touch, and I think Leigh players will be happy when the final whistle goes. Taburn with the tap to Pike, on to Gelling. Manfredi goes without it. That just sums it up again. Here comes Gill. Gill dodging and weaves. Still going. Fine tackle by Riding. Out to Goodway. Pass finds its way out to Bell. It's inside to Stevenson. And there goes the hooter to bring to an end this local derby here at at Hilton Park Leigh, which is victory for the visitors from Central Park Wigan. Wigan have totally demoralised and outplayed Leigh. They've won by 35 points to 0. 7 tries, 2 each from Henderson Gill and Joe Lydon, 1 each from Ellery Hanley, Andy Goodway and Dean Bell. 2 goals from David Stevenson, 1 from Joe Lydon, plus a drop goal from Lydon. Defeat for Leigh, a bad introduction for the 2 Australians, Howell and Schubert. But on behalf of your cameraman Jeff Unsworth, this is your match commentator Derek Disley saying we hope you've enjoyed the game, with a final reminder of this afternoon's scoreline: Leigh 0, Wigan 35.